Hey everybody, it's Chad with Nobody Else's Auto. Got some more new inventory to check out tonight. Another old Buick. 1964 Buick LeSabre 4-door hardtop. Now, as you can see, this car just came out of a bunch of trees. We see all this old evergreen residue that's just been piling up on this car over the years. So this one was kind of buried. We can actually kind of see where the trees rubbed against it. You see the spots where the paint's all worn? That's from where a tree sat there and rubbed against this thing for years. It is pretty much a complete old car, and there's a ton of good pieces here. It is a 4-door hardtop, probably not really a good builder because it's been sitting for so long, but there's a ton of good stuff here. Now, we can kind of see if we look over here, this car still has original hubcaps on it. So literally, it looks like they pretty much just shut the key off on this old car when they got done driving it and parked her out in the tree row. Other than the back window being broke out, pretty much all here. Does have the wide side moldings. Not all LeSabres had this wide, fancy trim side molding. Some of them just had a narrow strip. This one has the wide moldings on it, which really makes these cars stand out. I bet in its day, this was kind of a teal color with that big wide stainless molding, would have been a pretty sharp car back in its day. Inside, this old LeSabre is a little rough. It's been sitting for a really long time. Mostly still intact. It does have a factory clock in it. Did have factory air conditioning. Now, one thing that is different, we can tell this seat is a different color. This seat is blue, but it is a power seat. Now, I believe the seat came out of a Wildcat because I actually picked up a 64 Wildcat off the same Farmstead that was blue that didn't have a front seat in it. So I'm betting they probably wore the seat out in the LeSabre, took the seat out of the Wildcat and put it in here. But we'll put a video in here where you can check out the Wildcat as well. But at least we do still have the factory power seat. Around back, once again, this car's all still pretty much here, which is good. Taillights trim, trunk lock cover still there with the Buick emblem on it. They did tweak the rear bumper, pulling it out of the trees because it was buried so far back in there, so that is damaged. But all the rest of this trim is still here. We work our way over on the other side of the car. We can kind of step back a little bit and see this wide side molding. We've got more color on this side. I think this side was actually sitting back more protected from the weather. We can still see this, you can see a little more of this teal color paint with that big wide strip down the side. Really made these cars stand out. One interesting thing about these 64 LeSabres that had the wide moldings, the portholes were actually integrated into the front fender molding. They were actually part of the front fender molding instead of separate individual pieces. So another very unique piece about this car with these wide moldings that really made these things stand out. Obviously, being a 4-door hardtop, you could roll both those windows down, have no pillar. So in its day, this thing would have been really sharp. Teal, wide moldings, all the windows down, nice clean roof line. Would have been a good looking old Buick. Up front, we still see the grille, all the trim and everything here, including the Great State Midway USA Kansas license plate. Saw a lot of those on cars from the 60s. I don't know exactly what year they came out with those, but a lot of these old cars in my area in central Kansas, I find a lot of those still on cars. So under the hood of this old LeSabre, all still there. That's the nice thing about it. The old nail heads there, we can see the factory air conditioning, the factory power steering. So this was a fairly well loaded LeSabre with these options. One kind of interesting feature for a LeSabre with air and power steering, we can look over there and see it only had manual brakes. So that's kind of odd, but that somebody would opt for air conditioning but not worry about going to power brakes on this old LeSabre. So anyway, sharp old car, lots of good pieces here. We can still see, for as intact as this thing is, how much good stuff is still left on this LeSabre. So is there anything you see on this LeSabre you're interested in or got any questions about it, or any of the other 2,000 cars and trucks we've got here on the ground? We can see this LeSabre sitting right back here with a whole slug of other old Buicks from the 60s in this section. If you got any questions about any of this stuff, just give me a call, 620-786-4428. Be happy to have a conversation with you about your project, year, make, model, body style, the parts you need, or if you're looking for a project, what you might be interested in. So give me a shout. Be happy to have that conversation with you. Hope you like the old LeSabre. Stay tuned. I've been picking up a lot of cool old iron. We're going to be bringing you some more videos. I hope you enjoyed this one. I sure hope to see you soon on the next one. Thanks for watching, everybody.